What's happening, YouTube? And about that boxing, we are going to go ahead and discuss Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall 2. Alright, before I get into this, be sure to press the like, subscribe, and hit them notifications, and be sure to share the content if you enjoy it. Anyway, let's go ahead and go in. Alright, we know this fight just happened over the weekend. 19-1 Josh Taylor, former undisputed champion, and 28-1 Jack Catterall, his only loss coming by way of Josh Taylor. Now, first, I'm going to start off by saying this second bout was not more exciting than the first one. They panned out to be about the same. Not that great or that exciting of a fight. The commentators were trying to make like this was just the most unbelievable, great, exciting fight ever, and it wasn't. Sorry, first of all, if there's no titles on the line, that already takes the excitement level down greatly. So there's no way that a non-title bout is going to, quote, be more exciting than an undisputed title bout. Period. Even if there's a lull in the action, I think that's what they were referring to, obviously, was that there was more action in this fight, but I really don't think there was. I think the ref was spoken to and told to stay out of affairs because the ref was doing a whole lot of talking. He was breaking the fight up, actually, sometimes for 15 to 20 seconds, like giving these guys breathers because they were looking tired late in the fight. The fight was okay. It was just a basic fight. There were several clashes of heads. These guys bumped heads at least 6 times. It is expected to happen sometimes, but Josh Taylor is known for keeping his head on the line all the time. He really kind of never takes his head off the line, which is why Teofimo Lopez was able to pretty much decimate him pretty easy, even coming off of a layoff. I've been telling people from the beginning that I think Josh Taylor is a hype job. I've always thought he was a hype job. I mean, I looked at his record, I looked at his resume, saw the people that he fought. A hype job. Sorry, he is. He's a hype job. So, you know, nothing to Josh Taylor. I mean, hey, if they're going to put you in a position and let you play the character, you know what I'm saying, and you're going to get that paper, they're going to give you the bag, then do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, as a boxing fan, I know this guy was a hype job. Now, we all know the most exciting part of this bout was at the end, after the scores were read off. And the scores were pretty rough, man. It was like 117, 111, I believe. And then there was like a I want to say 116, 112. I can't remember the other one, but the spreads were pretty far, man. And then, of course, we know that Jack Catterall took the victory. So Bob Arum was not happy, man, you know. Now, first, we got to address who was addressed first. Okay, now the first one that was addressed was obviously Eddie Hearn. He was already standing in the ring behind Catterall, and Bob Arum, old ass, was still making his way to the ring from that front seat. It took him about 5 minutes just to get up there, y'all. The man is up there in age, so I got to give it up to him just for his effort in coming up on the stage. But first, they did address Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn said that he felt that those score cards were a bit wide, you know. He agrees that the right man won, but he disagreed with the scoring. He said that the cards were way too wide in favor of Catterall. So he admitted this, but still happy because, of course, Catterall, his guy, Catterall, took the W. So now, while they are still conversating a little bit with Eddie Hearn about to take it away, and I don't know who they were going to talk to, but they weren't going to talk to anybody before Bob Arum, Big Bad Bob Arum, got in the ring. And he basically said that the scorecards were disgraceful, and that he will never, ever, ever bring an American fighter over there and subject him to all English judges. He will never do it ever again. This was a lesson, he said.
Bob wants to speak. I saw the fight like everybody else. Those scorecards were a disgrace, were an absolute disgrace. And I really feel sorry for Josh. I thought he won the fight, but those scorecards were ridiculous. And that's the lesson. I will never, ever allow an American fighter to come here with this British board scoring the fight. Those scores were ridiculous.
So Bob Arum was not real happy about it. I thought the scores were really wide too. I actually thought Josh Taylor was more closer in this fight upon watching than he was in the last one. I think he was actually a little closer in this fight than he was in the last one. I think he should have lost the last one by a little bit more, because that was Catterall's fight for sure. I thought he was more in this fight, but Catterall won still. But I think Josh Taylor, to me, performed a little bit more in this fight and showed a little bit more urgency in this fight than he did in the previous fight. So I guess it's all in the eyes. It's all in what you watch. And as a judge, you know, for you to see 117, 111 in this fight, come on, man, something ain't right. And we know what it is. You got Josh Taylor, who is not from the GB. And then you got a fighter like Jack Catterall, who is. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to do the math. All right. So anyway, that's what we got for that, man. Like I said, I wasn't really, you know, I wasn't even going to cover this fight, man. Like, it wasn't even a big deal to me. Like, this fight wasn't that meaningful to me. I think Jack Catterall's a pretty decent fighter. I think he should have had those straps in the first fight. What this does for him, moves him in some position, but nowhere near where he needs to be. And I don't see his performance. I don't see him dominating over any other super lightweights at this time. Like, he's not going to, I mean, some of the guys in the run up, you know what I'm saying, in the top 10, stuff like that, he might, you know, he'll ruffle some things there maybe a little bit. But the guys that are like at the top right now, I don't see him really beating any of the guys at the top. Not the way he fights currently. He's good, but he's missing a lot, and he gets hit way too easily, you know, if he's letting Josh Taylor hit him. And he just leaves himself open too much, in my opinion, man. He leaves himself open too much, and greater fighters are going to really, really take advantage of that. But anyway, man, big ups to Jack Catterall on the victory. A victory with no true spoils, because they robbed you of the spoils in the first match, bro. But just keep up the good work, man. Hopefully he'll get up there, get him another title shot, man, and we'll see what he could do. That's all I got for this one, man. I'm going to go ahead and get up off of this, and we're going to move on to the next one. I'll be back with another one. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notifications, and share the content, man. Amp about that boxing.